Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. You need to have a hierarchy of improvement. You need to be aiming for something, and that means you're going to be lesser than people who've already attained along that dimension.
Yes.
And that can give rise to envy. You're the one who's had all your advantages and disadvantages. And so if you want to compete fairly with someone, then you should be competing with you.
You are your only comparison group, especially as you get older, because your life is so idiosyncratic and peculiar. It is genuinely true that no one has your set of opportunities and limitations. And so the comparison just isn't real. It can't be sufficiently multidimensional. I've dealt with many people who are very, very rich, but their lives are still full of exactly the same troubles that characterize human life in general. You compare yourself on one dimension, but you don't know what burdens the people you're jealous of are carrying. So leave it be. It's not helpful to you to be envious.
Envy is not helpful. And it's also a form of delusion. You can see the shiny outside of someone, and maybe they're wealthy, but you have no idea about the particularities of their life and what they might be suffering from or why they might be suffering from it. And so you look at the outside and you see someone in a Maserati with a hot blonde in the passenger seat. And you think, man, he's got it all. And you don't know that she's like a high-priced hooker and he's in a sweat because his crooked business dealings are about to fall down. That kind of envy, it's a surface delusion. The only person that you really can compare yourself is you, because you're the only one, your previous instantiation is the only person who matches your talents and your limitations perfectly.
고려해야 할 요소들이 너무 많기 때문에 다른 사람과 나를 공정하게 비교하는 것은 거의 불가능합니다. 사람마다 장점, 단점, 살아온 환경, 기회 그리고 제약이 모두 다르기 때문입니다. 그렇기에 이 모든 것들을 고려할 때 나와 비교할 수 있는 가장 좋은 사람은 나 자신입니다. 지금까지 왜 다른 사람이 아닌 자기 자신과 비교해야 하는지 알아봤습니다. 다음 영상에서는 어떤 방식으로 어제의 자신보다 건강하고 효율적으로 점차 발전해 나아갈 수 있는지 알아보겠습니다.
Every ideal is a judge. You posit an ideal and instantly you're in inferior position in relationship to that ideal, and that can be crushing. So what do you do about that? One answer is no ideals. Well, that's not a good answer because then you don't have anything to do. And that deprives you of a main source of pleasure, which is generated as a consequence of observed movement towards a valued goal. So if you have a high goal and you see any movement towards it, there's a really powerful potential kick there. So you don't want to dispense with that. But then if you set up an ideal, it can judge you very harshly. So then you have to rearrange your reward philosophy. And instead of punishing yourself from as a consequence of perceived distance, you reward yourself for incremental movement forward. Find a small improvement that is measurable, that's implementable, that will be implemented, that you can then reward. That's how you can have your ideal. You can take someone through this process and start them on just the tiniest goal. And then they start moving faster and faster after that point, once the direction has been established. And people make incredible improvement.
You can be 1% better than you are in 2 months. And that's 6% better in a year, which is quite a lot, especially because it compounds. And in 5 years, you're way better than you were. So that, see, it removes envy because you're not envious of who you were yesterday. But it also sets you in a position where you can reward yourself for genuine, small-scale, implementable undertakings. And that observation of progress towards a desired goal, that's the core of positive emotions. The happiness that people claim to want is to be found in the observation of progress towards a valid goal.
모든 것을 종합해 볼 때 다른 사람과 비교를 하지 않고 하루하루 천천히 발전해 나가는 삶을 사는 것이 중요한 것 같습니다. 일상에서 우리는 무의식적으로 옆에 있는 사람과 자신을 비교하기 쉽습니다. 하지만 겉으로 판단되는 요소가 비슷하다고 해서 비교할 수 있는 대상이라고 착각하지 마세요. 우리는 다른 사람들이 무엇을 하는지 참고하여 목표를 세우는 것에 대해 도움을 받을 수는 있습니다. 하지만 다른 사람과 자신을 비교하는 것은 조심해야 할 것 같습니다. 저도 저랑 같은 대학교 그리고 비슷한 시기에 같은 규모의 회사에 취직한 친구와 비교할 때가 많은데 자세히 들여다보면 그 외에 영향받을 수 있는 다양한 요소들이 셀 수 없이 많다는 것을 깨닫습니다. 정확하게 판단할 수 없는 다른 사람들과의 나를 비교하느라 좌절하는 삶이 아닌 어제의 나와 경쟁하고 앞으로 나아가는 스스로를 보며 발전해나가는 행복한 삶을 여러분들도 살아갔으면 좋을 것 같습니다.